Welcome back to another episode of NFT Catcher Podcast. We'd like to remind everybody that nothing on the show is meant as financial advice, and to please do your own research. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Now the subject is NFTs.
They're known as non-fungible tokens, or NFTs.
NFTs are exploding in popularity.
This is a technology that will forever change the way people interact.
So it is happening whether you understand it and like it or not.
This phenomenon is moving. The digital.
You have now joined Jenny from the blockchain and Michael Keene on the NFT Catcher Podcast.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the NFT Catcher Podcast. Jenny from the blockchain here with my co-host Michael Keene. Michael, happy holidays! How is your Christmas?
It's been less eventful than it was expected to be, but it's been fun. The kids have had a great time. Nice. You know, we're headed to Key West tomorrow. Spend a couple nights down there. You know, it's been good. It's been good. How about you?
It's been a blast. I'm back home visiting family. My brother is here with his kids and everything, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun for sure.
Beautiful.
So,
very nice. Very nice.
Excited back in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry. I was just gonna say today's I guess the last episode of the year, so that's kind of special. Our holiday special. And you know, it's been such a great year, honestly. And the next episode, we're going to kind of talk about, you know, some of our favorite moments of 2021 in the NFT space. But man, it has been a crazy year. And we also want to thank everyone who's been listening and tuning into our episodes. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, you know, thank you. We love all the messages we get. And just like knowing that there's people benefiting from this podcast is what makes it all worth it. So thank you so much. And also shout out to all the people that write reviews. We have, I don't know how many reviews, but we have a solid amount of reviews on Apple, and I love reading the reviews. So if you've been, you know, listening to this podcast and you really enjoy it, feel free to write a review. We would love to read it.
Yep.
But yeah, anyway, let's jump right into it.
Cool. Yeah, there's actually some breaking news kind of happening at the moment. I was just listening to the Twitter space a couple days ago. Taylor Gehring, the co-founder of Ethereum, he bought himself a mega serum, and he paid 888 ETH for it, which is $3.6 million. Yeah. For those that don't know about the serums, this was back in, what was it, September maybe, where Bored Apes, they released their mutants, but in doing so, they also dropped every single ape holder a serum, and it was either an M1, which there was about 7,500 of, an M2, which there was about, I guess it was 2,492 or so, and 8 mega serums. There was only 8 out of the 10,000. You had to randomly get lucky to get one. If you did get one, it was worth millions of dollars, apparently. And so basically, if you have your ape, it can drink one of each serum. So I got an M1. I actually haven't drank it yet. I can kind of go over that, why I haven't yet. I'm still holding it. But you know, the M1, the M2, so you could add mutants to your collection. They also, there's 20,000 total mutants at the end of the day. There's not that many have been minted yet, but there will be. And they sold 10,000. I think they did a Dutch auction that went down to 3 ETH. And or did it start at 3 ETH? It was some, I think it might have even started at 3 ETH, but most of them were sold. Obviously, it was a good investment to buy those at that point. But point being, there's a Twitter space going on right now hosted by Farouk, Tropo Farmer, Herb, John Knopf is there. The guys from Bored Apes are there, Gargamel, and the other gentleman is Gordon. And they are going to reveal the Mega Serum Mutant live. Taylor is gonna let one of his apes drink it live on Twitch. Everybody's on. There's a couple thousand people on Twitter Spaces right now. It's definitely a who's who throughout the audience.
Wait, what is the mega? Okay, so the mega. Yeah. What does that mean? That you can?
Yeah, for sure. So that's
I'm
okay.
not like in the loop on that.
So the way the serums work, they called it the Bored Ape Chemistry Club, and there's 10,000 of them. Every single ape holder had one airdropped, and so you like the M1 and the M2. The traits correspond. So like if I drank my M1, I would still have a fez on my head and a pipe, but it would be like all crazy looking. Yeah. If I bought an M2 and drank that, it would be even crazier looking. But each ape can only drink each level of serum once. So I can't drink an M1 twice. Like if I bought another M1, I can't drink it twice. I could drink an M1 and M2 and then theoretically a mega. And the megas actually don't correspond to your traits. Those are like straight up 101 crazy looking things. So nobody knows what this one's going to look like.
Okay, but you only get one mutant if you get the mega, if you drink the mega?
Correct. You only get one mutant.
For 888 ETH? This dude bought that?
Yeah, $3.6 million.
What the heck? Why?
Yeah.
Did you just get one mutant for that?
Yeah, but you get like right. You're gonna get like one of like the top 8 mutants out of 20,000.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, he's also the guy that co-founded Ethereum, so he was probably given the Ethereum for 0.00 pennies.
Okay, so he's already loaded,
right? I mean, who knows how much ETH he has? I guess we could look, but
dang, well, that's a great payday for whoever sold that. I guess, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, so absolutely. And that's exciting thing going on for the space. A lot of people are watching that. Right now it's December 28th at 9:40 Eastern. So that's happening live as we speak. It was cool to listen to a bit of the origin story of the Bored Apes from Gargamel and Gordon, and Herb, I guess, is a big part of the community there. They were talking about because the Bored Apes didn't sell out right away. They actually thought they were like, it was selling some. They were like, yeah, we sold some apes. We made some money. We thought that was kind of it. They thought it was going to end up like, failing, and they didn't know. And then they were talking about that first night on Clubhouse, which I've actually talked about a bunch, where actually Andy messaged me at one point. He messaged me and he said, the apes are blowing up on Clubhouse. And that was the first I really like took notice and was like, wait, what's going on? I didn't even really know what a generative project was before the apes, like that was like the beginning of all this whole run that we've seen. But that night on Clubhouse was crazy. Everybody, they're making ape sounds and they're crashing the different rooms. And it went on for a while. Like it was, that was part of why it got so hype was that hype. And then it just obviously took on a life of its own. I mean, Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? And what else can you say?
And now it's what, 60 ETH floor, like
60 ETH floor
in how many months? Like 7 months or something?
Exactly.
Something crazy. Yeah. And really the community, like we've talked about this so many times, but it's like, I feel like the community really latched on early on. They really connected with the apes early on. And I feel like, a lot of people, they just kind of, held on just for fun, like in the beginning. And then it kind of, as the prices started to skyrocket, it was like, this might actually, take off and be something here. Yep.
I bought mine when it was, the floor was 0.6 something. And I bought it. Mine was 0.88. I just, at that point, I was like, man, it keeps going up. I was like, I'm not going to miss this, so should have bought way more of them. Obviously hindsight is 2020, but still the best investment I ever made in my life.
Hey,
yeah, for sure.
Life changing.
Pretty much. The SOS token dropped, not actually affiliated with OpenSea, right?
Right, not affiliated with OpenSea, but basically, they're, I don't know, I don't even fully understand how some of these, like, and who is buying these tokens as far as like, because it's like they airdrop them, then everyone's selling, and then it's like, well, who's actually buying? But like they just airdropped these SOS tokens to OpenSea users, and it kind of depended on, the number of transactions, how much ETH you've spent on OpenSea, and, things directly related to OpenSea, but it wasn't like affiliated with OpenSea. And I mean that, you know, the token itself is trading for like super, like less than a penny, you know, but yeah, people got airdropped a lot of tokens. Personally, I converted mine like basically right away to Ethereum, and I got like, I didn't convert all of it. I did save a little bit just in case, but I pretty much converted almost all of it, and I got like I think 0.38 ETH.
Okay. Yeah, I converted all of it also. I did it too early because it did pump, but I got 0.55, which was cool. Hey. Yeah, what's wrong with that, right?
Free money. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're expecting a whole lot of that kind of next year. That's wild, right?
I know, it's so wild. Yeah. And I think you can still claim too, and be careful with claiming, obviously, because like, you know, make sure you're claiming. Yes. The right site
and even more so, wait until you see people you trust doing it.
Yeah.
Be really careful. There's something called a honeypot, and what that is, I guess, is you know, as the liquidity builds and there's money in there, then people can drain it. And can't they do something else? Can it also be malicious to your account?
I think it's like basically you put money in, you like buy the token, but you can't like sell it, I guess. And so it's like you basically just lost your money that you put in.
Yep. But if you get it for free, there's an issue with that, because people are being cautious. People are being cautious even about claiming. Like, don't just go claim everything willy-nilly. Make sure.
Right. Connecting your wallet. Yeah. Connecting your wallet to a site. Like that's why a lot of people suggest having a burner wallet, where it's like, okay, that's the wallet where you'll mint stuff or you'll claim things. And then, you know, your valuable assets are in like a separate wallet, you know, like a vault that you don't, you know, connect to sites with.
Absolutely. Good advice there for sure. And then speaking of the ape and all that stuff, I actually got a question from our listener. I didn't write down who it was. I'm sorry I got two really interesting ones this week, but the first one is, you know, with only one ape, how did I diamond hand it this long? I bought it really early. And you know me, like I itch to sell stuff all the time. Like I sold my 888 inner circle this week. Like I've thought about selling. I always, like, my cool cat's listed at 11. It'll probably sell next time that pumps. And I, you know, it is what it is. like, I'll be happy with that sale, but you know, I always itch to sell stuff. This Bored Ape, for whatever reason, I just don't want to get rid of it. Like it's, you know, it's the picture of the podcast, and it's I don't even know. It's my avatar on Twitter, and I don't want to sell it. I'd rather not sell it. And I really do feel like it'll be $1 million ape one day, I think is what's coming eventually. Like 100 ETH floor and a $10,000 ETH makes $1 million.
So did you like mentally decide like when, like, cause you know, the prices, you know, have been kind of shooting up quickly for apes, you know, this whole time. And it's like, did you just mentally decide, oh, I'm just going to hold on and, you know, really try to hold on to this thing? Or were you ever like, okay, you know, I'll only sell if it reaches, you know, a certain amount? And
there were a bunch of times I considered it. You know, I had less ETH all throughout. Like I probably even at 5 and 10, I was like, man, I could get, you know, like 40 grand for this ape. Like, you know, like,
right.
I definitely considered it. Crossed my mind 1 million times just because of the way I am. But for whatever reason, it's not something that I want to sell at all.
You're emotionally attached to it.
Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah. Well, that's, you know, what, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's like, it's a good thing and a bad thing, right? Like, you know, being emotionally attached to your NFTs, it's like, especially specific ones, it's great because then you're kind of, you know, you're forced to diamond hand in a way, and, you know, it's nice. But then at the same time, if, you know, if you're like, okay, I should really, you know, take profits and sell this thing, then it gets really hard. Like mentally, you're like, you don't want to do it. And it's so funny because I'll see on Twitter people tweeting all the time. Like they'll be like, I sold my, you know, whatever, some super valuable asset, you know, 6-figure USD value. And they're like, but I'm like sad about it. It's like, you should be happy, right? You're getting all this money, but they're also kind of sad because it's like they had this emotional attachment to it. And, I feel that too. My sister is the only reason I'll like sell things. She'll like force me. She'll be like, you really need to sell some stuff. You really need to sell some stuff. But it's definitely not easy. And even flipping, like, I know we're going to get into this, some exciting projects. Maybe I'll save it for that. I was going to talk about the Psychedelics Anonymous.
Yeah.
But
nice.
That was a great Apes story on why you're diamond handing.
Yeah.
And you're also, you're building up your Apes celebrity as well. It being like the cover of our podcast, and it's like, it's becoming recognizable, and that increases its value as well.
It does. I really hope I never have to sell it. I hope the community keeps expanding and I can have it forever. That's the hard part about having just one. Because, like I only have one cool cat, and if I sell it, I sell it. I'm kind of out of the community. Like, I try not to buy just one of too many things anymore because of that. So like,
I feel like I have just one of like all the good things.
I know.
But I think it is kind of good for diamond handing purposes because you only, like you said, you only have one, and then you're kind of forced to like, okay, I literally only have one, and I'm probably not going to be, when you sell something, you don't know, you're not like, oh, I'll just buy it back for cheaper. It's like, for the most part, you're letting go, and you're letting go forever.
Yep.
Usually you don't look back. So
yeah.
But also, speaking of which, that made me think about the Doodles. The last two episodes, you considered buying one. The floor has only been increasing. I'm
kicking myself. I'm kicking myself.
On the podcast, like listening and buying Doodles or something. Why are Doodles pamping so much? Like literally the floor. I mean, it got to like 5 ETH, I believe, and then now it's 4.6. Which is like it just keeps climbing.
It was 2.4 2 weeks ago, and I was like, should I buy one? I was like, nah, I'm not just gonna jump and buy it on the air. I was like, I'll study a little bit, and then it just got away from me. It's still maybe a good buy, but I'm not gonna buy. If it goes back to
wait, but I found a cute one for you. Okay, just look at this one. Doodle number 4109.
4109.
It's like it's kind of basic. It's like has like a white shirt. It's like skin color, pink background. It's kind of cute. It's a vibe, and it's 4.745.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's not bad.
I mean, I'm all the floor ones.
Yeah. I'm not going to buy it right this minute. I'm not going 5 ETH.
Okay,
right
you
now.
heard that, guys. Pump it more.
I know.
Next time. So you regret
please.
This decision. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I hope for everybody's sake that owns them that it is. I hope it does. Like I missed it. Like you never know. Like I mean, I bought the Cool Cat at 9, if you remember. So like I'm not averse if I have to,
9. Yeah.
but I usually don't go in stuff when it's real high. I could be making a mistake. This could absolutely go to 10, but it could also go back into the 2s. And if it goes into the 2s, I'll probably heavily consider snagging one.
Right. Yeah, the Doodles have been moving up pretty quickly. I feel like they're really. I mean, did they already surpass the Gutter Cat Gang floor price? Let me check really quick. Oh, 6.21. Okay, no, they didn't, but.
Wow, Gutter Cat 6.21 now.
Yeah, and I have a Gutter Rat, and they're actually doing solid. Like I remember when the floor was a steady 0.6, maybe even a couple of weeks ago. The Gutter Rat floor right now is 1.25. So I don't know what's happening. I think they announced that they're dropping a token, the Gutter species. So that could be why they're pamping. Also, everybody got. I feel like. First of all, I took a break from Twitter for like 5 days over the holidays. And while I was away, NFTs pumps. So like, you're welcome for that, first of all. Second of all, literally everything, like all the good projects are pumping. And I think it's because everyone got airdropped, or not airdropped, but you have to claim it. But the SOS token, and then I feel like they converted to ETH and then they bought NFTs from it. And I feel like that's why the market is pumping, because it was kind of going down. Like things were going down. Prices, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere starts pumping over the holidays, which is kind of random.
Yeah, stuff really it's so cyclical. We've seen it a bunch of times. Like if stuff starts, like the volume slows and stuff gets a little depressed, and then it just takes off. A lot of times it's like the apes and the punks are both doing really well. Like we were talking about, the flip happened at about 55. The last I looked, the punks are up to 65 now, on their 65? Way back up. Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were 60. Wow. Oh, the punks. Yeah.
Punks. Yeah. Okay, apes are sick. Right.
Oh, right. Because briefly, the Bored Apes flipped the punks, the CryptoPunks, right?
Yep. Very briefly. It happened. It happened twice. It happened twice last week. Right around 53, 54, 55. And
then punks dropped back up.
Yeah, punks went back up. They both went up, which is good. That's kind of what we should all want. We should all want both projects to succeed. It's good. It's obviously good for everybody because it's trickling down now. When people, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you don't want the punks to go down. Like, I don't think some people realize the punks are, first of all, they're very historical. They're the first, 10K generative avatar project. If those things go down, everything's going down. Like, you don't want the punks to do badly. Like, you want them to be winning too. Like, trust me, it's not apes versus punks. Although everyone likes to make it out like that. And, it's kind of fun when things are competitive. It's like, oh, what's your favorite sports team type of thing. And then, you get competitive with, oh, I'm rooting for this team and that team sucks. But at the end of the day, you want a lot of projects to succeed ultimately, obviously.
You sure do. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying the Mutants pumped as well.
Yeah. Yep.
The last week. The floor is 10.59 right now.
Yeah, floor's high. The serums are all high. I'm probably gonna drink mine. I've been holding on to my serum just because you have forever to drink it.
You should drink it live.
That's a good idea. I mean, I know what it's going to look like because the traits are going to match, but I'll drink it live for sure and show everybody. Yeah, that's a good idea.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I'll do it next week. I'll drink it live next week. Hey. I'm pretty sure. I just want to make sure that's what I'm going to do. That one, I do kind of want to sell for like 10, 12. Like I would sell my serum for 10.5. It's a lot of money, $42,000. But there's something is telling me not to. Like, and also the ape token,
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to probably, I don't know. It's not going to be $40,000, but,
and you'll probably cash out a decent amount of the token I'm getting, right?
Yeah. Usually probably, maybe I'll do half, or I don't know. It depends on what it all looks like.
And what the utility for the token is. Like maybe you need the token in order to,
play the game or something.
Play the game and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, like for Gaza Chain, like they airdropped tokens to us, like people that have been playing for a while, and you actually need it in order to like fuse your cards together and mint them as NFTs. So like,
people have to buy it. Yep.
Yeah.
So. That's kind of like the Sandbox token. If you want to buy Sandbox land at retail when they put it on sale, you need to have sand.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, that's smart. It's smart incorporating the token into your project. I mean, obviously, like it just makes sense. It just makes sense.
Vivi has talked about that as well. They're saying they're not going to have their land ready for, it might be a couple years, but you're going to have to purchase it with OMI, which hopefully will help the OMI token. Yeah.
Interesting.
I was in a Vivi Twitter space the other night with a bunch of the old school guys from Vivi, and we were all talking about that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So another listener question. This was a really good one. I found this really funny. He said, I've just kind of got into NFTs and looking at a bunch of different projects. Have you guys ever heard of House of Kibaa? So I was like, of course we've heard of House of Kibaa.
We love House of Kibaa.
Yeah. I said Jennifer and I are both Genesis members, token holders, and we've been through the process of getting the apostles, not the apostles, that's BOA pills. Gen X's, yep.
Or Gen Zeros or whatever.
Yep, Gen Zeros. And you got all the armor, and they just recently airdropped a
I saw that.
Yeah, I got the lava pyramid. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's going to be somewhere where you can display your NFTs, but I haven't looked into exactly what it is, but it looks cool.
We went to their in real life event in Miami.
We did.
Right?
Yeah, we did. No, that was in New York.
New York.
Yeah. Yep. We got some, they gave away free merchandise. So the way the House of Kibaa worked is they originally went on sale. This was probably in June. It cost $500. They put 10,000 of them on sale, but they only sold, I think it was about 800 or 900.
810.
Yeah, 810. And then pretty much with promises of lifetime drops, like monthly, drops of whatever. And they've been giving us stuff constantly. Some's worth something, some's not. Everybody that had a Genesis membership was able to mint a free of the Gen Zero of a real low number, a special one. Mm-hmm. And if you remember, I think I have the highest sale in the history of the entire ecosystem of House of Kibaa. I sold it over. I got it for free. Thank you, House of Kibaa. Sold it for 8 ETH overnight, like while I was sleeping. That was pretty amazing. That was a good morning to wake up to.
Yeah. I remember we were so excited on the pod. I was like, yo, they were talking about you in the Discord. And I was like, oh my God, that's my co-host. Like they were talking about the sale. That was epic.
That was epic. I couldn't believe it. But so we're both big fans of the project. Anything you want to say about it? I've been kind of chatting it up.
Not really. It's just I really feel like they're doing a lot of building behind the scenes, and they've been consistent with their monthly airdrops, which is what like they had initially promised. And they're doing really cool things. And I mean, I loved their event personally as well. I got to meet Kibaa himself and a couple other of the team members. Grant Pat, he had invited me to that, and it was just it's cool. I feel like they're doing a lot of cool things. I haven't really looked too much into the project lately. It's one of those things where it's like I'm Diamondhanding my Genesis membership for sure. So sometimes I neglect my Diamondhanded stuff and I don't look too much into what's happening, which I really should be up to date more and check the Discord announcements and stuff more often. But yeah, they're cool people.
That one at one point shot up to 4 ETH, if you remember. It got really high. It's been hovering at about 1.5 for a while now.
Right. Yeah, 1.5.
Yeah. But that's a good project, good team, small community. And they did the Ape Demption they gave out. That was one of their first airdrops and a lot of really cool stuff. A big fan for sure. We're both fans. We've talked about it a bunch on the podcast.
Where did you get these listener questions from?
It was either a DM or even might have just been a straight comment. Yeah, I get a lot of DMs. People that listen, I always appreciate it. I always try to respond. We have the best listeners out there. I think we have the best listening group of any podcast.
Let's go! Shout out to our listeners.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've been having a lot of fun. It's kind of a hot market right now, like you said. And I've been when the market gets hot, I get a little more aggressive with kind of what I'm buying and selling. And I've been having some fun with some of these projects. You mentioned Psychedelics Anonymous. Did you do anything with that one, or just kind of checking it out?
So what's crazy is that Voltura.
Yep.
Wait, is it Voltura? Yeah. It was crazy because he has like over 100,000 followers now, and like loyal followers too. It's crazy. He's really good at marketing. We talked about him a couple episodes ago.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so we had been messaging back and forth a bit when he only had a couple thousand, and it was crazy to see the growth, But anyway, he put me on the whitelist, which was awesome, and so I almost feel kind of bad saying this, but yeah, I minted. So there's 4 different NFTs to mint, and so it was total of like 0.28. And I actually flipped 2 of the NFTs. And so I flipped the Psychedelics Anonymous Genesis for 0.749, which now the floor is 1 ETH. But at the time, it was like a local top because then it went down to like 0.4 something, but then it shot back up. And I do kind of want to buy back in maybe if it goes for less than if it like goes under what I sold it for after the reveal, but we'll see. And then I also sold a Psychedelics Anonymous component number 1 for 0.169. I think that one was like 0.06 to mint or something. But yeah, I still have 2 more of the NFTs for that. But yeah, I mean, I was excited because I haven't really had like a big flip in a while. So
yeah,
that was pretty cool. Shout out to Volterra and yeah, everyone. And I was in the Discord too. I was watching the Discord and people were really passionate. Seems like that project has a lot of potential. We'll see what happens with it, but you know, people are really excited about it, and yeah, it seems to be doing really well so far.
Yeah, I agree. It does seem like it has a lot of potential. Like we've said before, the hard work starts after the sellout, and he seems like he's like a solid, legit dude that's trying to build something cool for the community. I actually bought one. I did not get on the whitelist. I bought one for 0.477, one of the Genesis. So yeah, it's what's actually 1.1 right now. I didn't even notice that it went over 1. So yeah, I don't know if I'll sell. I may sell soon. I may gamble and wait for the reveal. I like the project though, for sure. I bought one because I didn't want to miss out. I usually don't buy high. I don't buy like the pre-reveal hype, but for some reason, this one, you know, I try and go with my gut and took a chance on it. And it seems like it's going to be strong. They're really cool looking. The ones that are flashing are like, it's super unique.
Right. Yeah. There's different options.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's,
I kind of feel bad. See, this is what we were just talking about. With it was like, you make money, but then you feel bad because you sell. And also I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like someone's going to like message me and be mad that like I was on the whitelist, but then I sold. I just know someone's going to like DM me.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, everybody that sold was on the whitelist, you know?
True.
And they're selling constantly. So it's like, you know, that's the way it is. Like and I'm sure even if you talk to him, he'd be like, good for you.
Yeah. Nothing personal, just business.
Right. He would say, good for you. That's what it's all about. And he gets paid on that too. You know, it's not like the creator doesn't get paid even. Absolutely. Another couple ones. I'm actually, do you know Alien Friends? Have you seen that one?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they're little like the 10,000 of them, or there might be 8,888 of them. But a couple of the guys I follow were into it, and it was cheap, and that's actually done pretty well. I bought 3, sold 1. I'm actually going to keep them for a while. I think the floor is like 0.3. It's a pretty good project. Another one that did really well. I minted these. This was the Apocalyptic Apes. Did you see that one?
No.
Yeah, for sure. There's so much go. There's another Apes one that's doing well too. But the Apocalyptic Apes, I was in a Twitter space. First, I saw it on Icy Tools. I'm always on Icy Tools. I'm using that more and more all the time, just to keep track. It's an easy way to see if something hot is happening right in front of you, you know. So I caught it on there, and then I happened to see they were having a Twitter space, and it was run by a 13-year-old kid who's putting on this project.
What?
And like he was running that Twitter space like a champ, like holding it down and talking about community. And like, so I was like, all right.
Okay.
I minted 3 of them. The thing pumped to 0.8.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. I sold one at like 0.3, one at like 0.6. And then it went to 0.8 and it started coming down. And I sold my third one at 0.7. Like,
wow.
Real nice. Yeah. Nice little they were like, you know, they were 07 to mint. And
jeez, that's nice.
Yeah. So like when I try to get the feel like when times are good, I try and be a little more aggressive, because there are times where I might not mint anything for a month, you know, when it's kind of oversaturated. But now, like, everybody thinks they're going to be making this money, and I'll just play that game. Like most things, I'm not looking to hold for a long time. Like that one, I'm okay to get out of. And if it goes to 2 or 3 ETH, like there's very few projects that really do get that high. So don't think every single thing you buy is going to be a 1 ETH.
I mean,
like a 1 ETH floor is insane. That's like 1 out of 100 projects maybe goes to a 1 ETH floor. Probably less than that.
Oh my God. I was just thinking about the pain of like minting. Like, I'm just thinking about some of the things where I minted.
Yeah.
And then it was like, and then I was like, I was in gas wars for it. Like I paid as much gas as I did for the actual NFT.
Yeah.
And then like, it just like plummeted. And then you're just like, no, like that's like the worst feeling ever. You're just like, oh my God. Like I just basically threw money down the toilet. Like,
yep. They become unsellable with the gas. They really do. Like there's some,
like, you don't want to sell it for like, 0.01 or like super cheap because you're just like, like what, I don't know. I mean, I have a hard time selling things for like less than I paid for. I don't like to do that personally. I know that some people do. And like, I don't know, there's like benefits to it, but I'm like, I just can't bring myself to sell something for like less than I paid. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like I'd rather just keep it.
Yeah. Most of our NFTs will not really be sellable in the long term.
Liquid JPEGs. That's why they call them the liquid JPEGs.
Yeah, pretty much.
But anyway, now that we brought up the liquid JPEGs, yes. Rip.
No. I mean, it's mostly like it's good. You just got to be smart and like it's like basically my point in saying that is if you have something that's giving you a nice profit right now, don't feel bad about taking it because you never know. Like everybody always wants the shiny new thing. There's going to be we can't even imagine the products. There could be a project coming next year that flips to apes, and we don't even know. It's going to be something. It's not going to be the crazy antelopes or it's going to be something that's new that we're not even thinking about yet.
And you know what? Nobody thought that the apes were going to flip the punks. Like,
people
months ago, it was like,
laughed at that.
No way. No, I literally laughed at that. I was like, what a joke. Like, that's hilarious. No way it's going to happen. And then it's like, it happens. And obviously it's inevitable. It's inevitable for something to flip the apes, eventually it's just like, well, will it be? When will it be? We don't know. But it kind of is inevitable for that to happen as well. Can't be number one forever, right?
Nope. No, you're right. I mean, there's always going to be something new coming down the pike. The classics will be the classics, but like the art's going to get better. The contracts are going to get more advanced. Like the token, not like everything's just gonna keep evolving.
Yeah, and things will get better, and then it's all of a sudden like, oh, I don't care about this older project anymore, and but then you'll see communities, coming out and really wanting to shine through, and we see that with, I mean, for example, like what was it last week or the week before? It was like we were talking about goats, and like the community is pretty strong, and it they're just chilling at like I think 0.9 floor, and it's just things like that where it's like, okay, some things will just chill at a certain floor price, but it'll have a really strong community, and the community is what will pull these projects through. I believe.
I mean the BYO pills sat at 0.5 for a while. And I remember looking at mine a bunch of times. Yeah, for months. Yeah. I remember looking at mine and being like, there's no reason to sell these so cheap. Like kind of like you said, I was like, nah. And then now, I mean, if you have a whole set, it's well over an ETH. I think the pills themselves are like 0.5 and the vape is like 0.17. The land is like 0.2 something. Like it's really strong.
Claim my land. BYO pills, they've really been impressing us, I feel like.
Yeah, they're crushing it. BYO pills, Jenkins the valet. Like there's some projects that are just putting in the work. Yeah. I mean, I miss my craft. I never got the craft, sadly.
Oh, I don't think they've done that yet.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Because I would know.
Okay. Okay. For some reason, I thought I heard someone mention it. I was like, oh man, I missed it.
So they announced, if you have, I believe it's like a pill plus a apostle, you get a craft. But then if you have a pill plus a vape plus an apostle, I believe, I don't know, if you have like more of the components, then you get like a more special craft. Oh, cool. So that's coming. Yeah, so that's coming. And they're also launching a token as well. So, but yeah, the Doodles, they have this concept of like the Doodle Bank, and people can propose ideas, and then the community kind of votes on things, and so this one a person or maybe a group of people came out with these pukenzas, I guess they're called, and so like all Doodle holders could mint one for free, And I think like the Doodle Bank like paid for them to like, launch it and all that. And then and so I actually claimed one for free, just had to pay gas. I think I totaled like 0.01.
Nice.
And then I just sold it actually just now. I checked and it sold yesterday, I believe, for 0.07. So not bad.
Not too bad.
Also, I bought something recently. I bought remember how I was in the Collector Chronicles? Like I was like the first like featured collector in that.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good series. Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Dingling, Orchid, like all these other notable collectors. And I just bought a second one. Finally, I bought one for someone had listed for 0.078, and then the next listing after that is 0.15. So I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna buy this because I really wanted to get one. I really wanted to have two because I kind of wanted to give one to my mom because it's like I'm in it, and I think that's
it's awesome. It's awesome.
But yeah.
I bought one of those a while back. You'll never guess who it was.
Who? Wait,
Gary,
what?
Yeah, of course.
That's funny.
Yeah. Love it. What else is happening? What do we have on our list? So I'm in this Twitter chat group with the guys that put on the it was called at the time the Bored Ape Basel, but they've changed the group to the Magic City Apes, and they're actually talking about doing a DAO. Really, really good group of people. NFT Pappy is one of the guys that leads it. Congratulations to him. Just got engaged. 75 people. I think that's like a full Twitter DM with 75 people. Spotty Wi-Fi's in there. Post Varone. A lot of really great apes. It's all apes. And they're looking to make a DAO. Really cool group of people. It's always kind of everyone's talking about what's happening and like minting this. Is this safe? Is that safe? It's a really nice group to be in, really good group of people. Mostly, I think people are in South Florida here, which is cool because I'm going to plan on in January at some point trying to put on like an in real life like event in South Florida for NFT people and just have a bunch of people get together and
Alpha League.
Yeah, I'd like to try and do that once a month. Honestly, I think there's a lot of room for that. I think South Florida is a great place for it. I have a bunch of friends already down here that are into it, so it would we'd already have like a nice little base crowd and, hopefully get a bunch of people, but I'm a big fan of the Magic City Apes. I'm proud to be part of that little community. Just want to give them a shout out.
Nice.
And another thing that we've talked about a couple times, I've talked about it a bunch. I think we talked about it once on here. NFTs, it's going to obviously take over every industry we can think of. It's going to infiltrate. I shouldn't say take over, but it'll infiltrate. And one of the ones that I always find really interesting is politics. And I find that it could be a really good way to fundraise for a political campaign. And I read an article the other day that somebody's actually doing that for the first time. A guy named Blake Masters is running for Senate from Arizona. He co-authored, I never heard of him before this, but he co-authored Peter Thiel's book. I think that's the dude from co-founder of PayPal. Okay, that's him. So he's running for the Senate. He's going to anybody that donates the maximum, which is $5,800. Sorry, it took me a long time to get to this. He's going to give them an NFT.
Wow, so that's cool.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. I think it's going to be used a lot. I think people are going to do NFT projects like that, where, if you have the token, maybe you'll get to FaceTime with your elected official. I think it's going to be a big way for these projects. Like you could put out a project and raise $3 million in a day. Like, of course, the political candidates will be able to do that once there's a bit more mass adoption of wallets and crypto and all that. But it's a vision into the future. What this guy's doing, it's a smart move. It's going to get press, and he'll get a bunch of donations probably.
Wow, that's really cool. I like that. It's like, okay, donate, and then if you do a certain amount, you get something in return. You get an NFT. That's pretty cool.
I didn't even look what side of the political aisle he was on, to be honest with you. I have no idea. I don't know anything about him politically, but it's a cool move, and it's going to lead the way. A lot of people are going to see that. I bet for the 2022 midterms, because the space moves so fast. We still have 10, 11 months. I bet there's going to be a lot of candidates that are doing that, because why wouldn't you?
Right.
They're desperate for money. They're out there begging for $5 at a time. Like they're desperate for money. Like
True.
It's a great way to generate income for your campaign. And then hopefully, build your community. And if you're smart, you'll keep the people involved. So we have a couple more things here. 2020 NFTs generated $100 million. In 2021, they generated 23 billion, which is 230x. Do you have any guesses on 2022 volume? You want to make a guess, and I'll make a guess, and we will see what happens.
Wait, okay. So what was it again?
Okay, 2020 was 100 million, and 2021 was 23 billion. This is volume traded in NFTs.
Oh my God! Wow, volume traded in NFTs. Oh my gosh! Wow. And we have to make a prediction.
Yeah, make a prediction.
Ooh, I'm gonna say 100 billion.
100 billion. Okay, I'm actually going to go more. I'm going to go 10x, which is almost a quarter trillion. 230 billion. I think things move so fast.
Yeah.
I think Japan is going to get more involved. Korea. I think it's gonna blow even more. I'm gonna call 10x.
Okay, and all right. Well, I guess if in a year from now we're still here doing our podcast show, we'll have to revisit this prediction.
We'll have to revisit. Yeah. I'm gonna write it down.
All right.
And make sure Andy holds us to it.
Andy, hold us to this. Yeah. So first of all, I wanted to shout out Disney Alex Max and Sarah Stargirl for making me a NFT of my NFT Powerpuff Girl. They made it with like a Christmas version, which is really cute. And so thank you for that. And a couple people sent me some Top Shop moments for Christmas. And if they're listening, thank you. Also wanted to say CryptoToys, which is my sister works with CryptoToys team. Remember, we had talked about this in a few different episodes. They also airdropped some like little like Christmas holiday things, which are actually going to have future utility when they build out their little like world. Kind of like basically think about like Webkins, but like a much better version. And anyway, so that was super cool. And I feel like CryptoToys is doing a lot of cool things. And especially, since my sister's on the team, it's like I always get to hear about what's going on with that. And then also my friend Swicky launched her merch, her Kiki merch. And it was really cool because she did this like whole pre-sale thing where, okay, you select which clothes you want, and then basically you get an NFT, and then it's, it costs the amount that, whatever your merch costs, that's how much it will cost the mint. And so like, you get the merch, plus you get this NFT that's also going to have like future utility and stuff and like access to things. So like, that's pretty cool. I love, and that kind of ties in with a political thing. It's like, the concept of like, okay, you're doing something, you're donating or you're buying merch or whatever, but then also you get this NFT as well to go with it. Like that's super cool. So yeah, anyway.
If anybody wants to check out her website and her merch, it's just swicky.io, SWICKIE.io. I just went to it now. Cool website. Hey. Yeah, you can see the hoodie and the stuff she's selling. So,
and she's been doing a lot in this space. Actually, next year, we're gonna be having guests on, and we're also gonna be striving to record episodes more often. So I'd actually love to have her as a guest sometime.
That would be awesome. Yeah,
because I really feel like she's doing the most for her with her IP for her ape. And I really feel like a lot of people can benefit from, okay, how do you build a brand around your NFT?
Yep.
And, so yeah.
That she'd be a great guest. And the stories you tell makes her sound like a lot of fun. She's a baller, right?
Yeah, her and her husband Peter, they're awesome. Every time we meet up in real life, like there'll be these, NFT events or whatever. It's like they always go all out, get the tables at the clubs. Like they're always, they're super bougie. But yeah, they're cool people. They're really cool people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, good stuff. Another really good episode. Let's run down the what we do at the end of every episode is the last 7 days of volume traded. We go usually the top 10. So normally Axie Infinity is number 1, but sometimes they get overrun. And this week it was actually by the Mutants, the Mutant Ape Yacht Club. Huge amount of volume, 426% change from the prior 7 days, 72 million in sales. Awesome run up for them. The floor on the Mutants was like was like 4 ETH, 4.5 ETH, not more than a month or two ago. And it's up to, like you said, 10.5 right now. Made a real run. Axie Infinity is number 2. CryptoPunks number 3. With the OG Bored Apes number 4. Clone X number 5, which is Artifacts Project purchased by Nike. Sandbox number 6, still crushing it. Art Blocks number 7. Psychedelics Anonymous Genesis is number 8, which we talked about earlier in the episode. You'll be very happy with number 9, NBA Top Shot breaks the top 10 this week.
Yeah, let's go.
27,000 buyers, 385,000 transactions. It's actually more transactions than Axie Infinity. I don't know if I've seen that happen before for them.
So remember, there's the Dapper Stimmy, but basically, sure. they Dapper Stimmy happened.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Cool. And then number 10 is Doodles, and 11 is the Kennel Club, and 12 is actually the Chemistry Club, the Serums, and that's got to include. That's got to include exactly. How about that? Cool Cats 13, Cryptodes 15, the Steph Curry 116, Diaz 17. Good stuff.
There we go, folks.
Yeah. Episode 22. Yep,
22, last episode of the year. Anything you want to say for the last episode of the year?
For the last episode of the year, wow, 2021 was what a year. I mean, you got into NFTs in 2020. I got into them in 2021, and I couldn't be happier with the community and the friends I've made and the connections and what it's done for me and my family. And I'm hoping for an even better 2022 for everybody. And let's maybe get some of the scammers out of the business in 2022, but absolutely thrilled to be a part of this community. And everybody feel free. You can keep reaching out. I love talking to people and making friends. We've made connections through this podcast and just all around the NFT space. I'm sure you feel the same way. Like, I have more friends now than I ever have in my life. I mean, really from the NFT space. It's wild. Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces and all that, and VV and Top Shot, Bored Apes. Just what a year. A couple days left in the year, but it's been spectacular.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We got to end it on that. But yeah, you can DM us on Twitter if you want. We love getting messages from our listeners. NF Ticket and Jennifer _pseudo, or you can even message NFT Catcher Pod.
Yep.
The official. Andy runs the Twitter, by the way, our producer. If you ever want to message him, he would
love it. You should definitely message Andy. Andy is the unsung hero of the podcast. We've said it before. We'll say it again. He really is.
And 2022, he will be actually making some appearances in some of our episodes and talking. So
he says. I'll believe it. I'll believe it when I see it.
Hey, we're holding him to it.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thanks so much for listening. Have a happy holidays. Have a happy new year. And we'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the NFT Catcher Podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something new about the exciting world of NFTs. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you really love what you're hearing, please leave us a rating and review on your favorite platform. If you want to stay up to date with the latest news and insights from the NFT space, be sure to follow us on all the socials at NFT Catcher Pod. You can follow Jennifer at Jennifer_pseudo and Michael at NFTicket. I'm your producer, Andy, and I'm at AJC254. Our theme song's by It's Just Los. We always appreciate your feedback and support, which helps us reach more people and bring you informative and engaging content about NFTs. We look forward to bringing you more great NFT content in future episodes. Thanks for listening. Peace.